Budget cuts hit WWE pretty hard in recent weeks. I'm sure you've read all the stories. We had those 11 roster cuts last week, which I don't think we would have had if they weren't looking to trim the budget, because it's been a long time since they've cut people en masse like that. And all of a sudden, 11 people at once. It's pretty obvious what's going on here. They're going to lose their ass on the network short term. They're projecting, I think, losses for the next year of $45 to $52 million. And that has everything to do with the cost related to launching and maintaining the network. And the network does not seem to be growing as quickly as they would have hoped. You know, people were having a discussion on the Facebook group about this, and I chimed in and said, look, you know, in August they're going to announce, they've said that in August they're going to announce the next network number. The first number was 667,000, which was right on the border of good and not so good, leaning towards good. Okay, so I don't think it was anywhere near as high as they had hoped, but it wasn't a disaster. So you would think, okay, they're going to announce another number in August, and maybe the number this time will be 800,000 or 850, 900. They'd probably be doing a dance. Well, don't be shocked if they announce that number in August and the number is lower than 667,000. Not like, you know, ridiculously low, like 300, but if, let's say, it goes down from 667 to 550, or somewhere between 550 and 600, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, because you got a lot of people whose 6-month subscriptions are coming up, and I can tell you right now there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to renew. And I also think that there's a lot of international people that they're banking on as they roll this thing out to new countries. You know, I know publicly they're saying it hasn't launched outside the U.S. yet, and at the end of the year, early 2015, we're going to be in the U.K., and we're going to be in Canada and all these different places. But there's a ton of people all over the world who are not supposed to have the network who do, who are probably lumped into that number. And so they may be figuring, hey, we're going to roll this thing out all over the world, you know, end of this year, beginning of next year, and the numbers are going to go up even higher. You would think so, but that may not be the case. They may not go up nearly as high as they think. If you've already got, and I don't know what the percentage would be, we could say 10%, 20%, whatever it is, of those international folks already have the network, and they're not even factoring that into their numbers. So there's a lot of different things here that I look at, and it makes me, you know, if I'm WWE, it makes me very concerned. Anyway, the network is not doing as well as they had hoped. I like the network, it's been slow growing, and it's costing them a shitload of money. And one of the areas, and this is just a rumor, this is not confirmed, it originated with a report on the WrestleZone website, but supposedly has been backed up by somebody on Reddit who's got sources in WWE. You know how that goes. But it seems as though budget cuts have hit the production side of WWE, and usually what they would do is they would provide tour buses for a lot of the production staff. They would, you know, supply the buses to transport them from one TV taping to the next, and the company would pay for it. Now, those buses are gone, and the crew has been told that they're going to have to drive themselves from city to city for the tapings and pay for it out of their own pocket. And in a lot of cases, these are not people that are making a lot of money. So for them to have to pay these expenses out of their own pocket, and they're already working ridiculous hours. I don't envy these people at all in terms of the schedule. And we're not talking about the people like Kevin Dunn's buddies that sit in the truck with him. We're talking about the production people who are like boots on the ground, setting everything up. When we watch Raw Monday nights and we watch the pay-per-views, what we see in terms of the set and everything else that make the show look as slick and as professional as it does, that's because of these people. They're the ones that are out there grinding it out, doing all the hard work and the grunt work to make the shows look as good as they do. So this is a big deal. I mean, you probably got people that are working, 15, 17, 18-hour days who now have to drive themselves for hours on end. Forget the expense for a second, which is bad enough. But now they've got to drive from city to city, hopefully not by themselves, but in some cases perhaps by themselves. You have to think that these people are exhausted. They're tired. It could be a safety issue now for them. I mean, it sounds like a really bad situation if, in fact, it is true. And my sense is that it probably is, but I just can't be sure. But that's pretty bad. And you know, one of the things about what these guys do, it's a thankless job. So these guys are behind the scenes. We don't know their names. We never see them. They never get credit. There's no credits that roll at the end of the show or anything like that. It's a thankless job, and it sounds like that job just got a lot tougher because of the budget cuts that are stemming from the network. So the network is affecting a lot of different things in this company right now. They're looking to cut costs at every corner. There's certain aspects of people's entrances that they're not doing anymore, Fandango's Golden Curtain and all that kind of stuff. And I know there's been rumors that they're not flying the Rosebuds anymore for Adam Rose. I don't know that they were flying them anywhere before. I think they may have been driving themselves. So I'm pretty sure the Rosebuds will still be there. They probably just get people from whatever city they're in, wrestlers who I'm sure would love to get on TV in some way, and they just dress them up and throw them out there. But if that really is going on, back to the production stuff and the buses and all that, look, WWE, it's their company. They could do what they want. I guess to them it's a luxury and not a right that they provided that sort of thing to those people, but that's not right. I mean, that's really low rent, if that is in fact what's going on. One more WWE item here before we move on, and this comes from the website WrestlingDVDnews.com, so I want to give them credit for this. They say that home video and merchandise partners have been issued a memo from WWE stating that the new logo will come into effect on August 18th. That's the night after SummerSlam. And that would jive with something that Stephanie McMahon said during a business presentation she did before WrestleMania this year, where she said the new logo would be used on all branding starting sometime this summer. There was a fake logo floating around, and whether it was fake or one of the illustrations that WWE considered before it rejected, I don't know. But I got a copy of it. I tweeted it out. You can go on my Twitter. A few days ago, I put the picture up. I like that logo a lot better than the network logo. I know some people think the one I tweeted out looks too cartoonish, but I thought that one looked a lot slicker, just a lot nicer than the one that they're actually using, which I'm pretty sure is just the network logo. I mean, the network logo was on the new corporate jet. It's on the flag on top of Titan Tower. So I'm pretty sure that'll be the logo that we're getting on the 18th, I guess. They'll have to change over the WWE title belt as well. I'm sure they're already working on that. So finally, after all these years, it's really going to happen. We're getting a new logo, and that's the one that, like it or not, we're going to have to stare at for many years to come.